Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts in San Francisco, please welcome Bill Maher.
Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Hey, please, I haven't... Thank you. Hey. I appreciate that, I appreciate that encouragement. Because it's a controversial... Oh, where'd it go? There was a little thing. It was only about this big, right? It was... That said, be more cynical. That's the title of this, and ever since it came out, people have been asking me, do I mean that? They're like, you're kidding. They think I'm sarcastic or ironic, or I'm not. Everybody says we're too cynical. No, we're too stupid. If you think Rosie O'Donnell and Penny Marshall are shopping at Kmart, yeah, that's... And I'm not just women, I'm saying. You know, I'm watching the playoffs, basketball. Men, come on, in America are way too invested in sports. They care too much. They care. No, but really, guys, you are not the 10th man. You're a machine for turning beer into piss. That's what you are. So, it's so sad, you know, when the team wins and they go, we won! No. There's no we. You didn't win anything. 10 black guys who would hate you if they knew you won. You know... kids about drugs. They know about drugs. You can't say they're just all bad, and they know life. Farmers, the coca farmers in the Andes, stopped growing cocaine, the lucrative cocaine crop, and then replace it with, I couldn't make this up, bananas and chrysanthemums, which, I'm not kidding, which, it did not work. Just off the bat, have you ever tried to get a stripper back up to your room with a banana and a chrysanthemum? Because it's slow going, ladies and gentlemen. Kid this. But, no, George Bush Sr., he was a drug fighter. Remember, he called it a scourge. It's a scourge. Yeah, it was a scourge. He went into Panama to get Noriega because he was the big coke dealer. I must have went over well with Junior. Thanks, Dad. Why don't you just cut off the whole supply? Yeah, that little Bush kid's a coke monkey. He used to call it Texas booger sugar down there, you know. And Gore was a huge pothead. That's your choice in this election, a pothead versus a former cokehead. And that's not even what's bad about it. What's bad about it is both of them are too dickless to live up to that and say, okay, we did it. It doesn't hurt you that much. Let's change the way we look at it. And I'll tell you something. If Bush does get to be president, I hope he has some cocaine because he has got a lot of fucking studying to do, this guy. He's going to have to pull a few all-nighters. You know, privacy is so under attack in this country. Doesn't it worry you? It worries me. And this is the last place that they can't get to. Don't tell me how to manage my own head. And please stop assuming that we all agree that longevity and perfect health is always the correct option. No. Sometimes fun costs you. It just does, you know? And that's okay. You're willing to make that purchase. Sammy Davis Jr. was 64 when he died. Give me 64 Sammy years. I'll be happy.
I'd rather have that than 150 Ken Starr years, I'll tell you that.
There was a billboard with Sammy Davis Jr. on it that I saw, and I objected to this a lot. A picture of Sammy who's from the anti-tobacco people, and it said, "He took our breath away. Tobacco took his away." Well, no. Tobacco didn't harvest itself and hop on a bus to Las Vegas and shove itself down Sammy's throat. Sammy Davis Jr. was a free man. He made a personal decision. Remember those? He wanted a drug. The tobacco companies were the pusher, and the government is the mafia that wants a cut. That's all. This idea now that the government is suing the tobacco companies, this is a betrayal worthy of Sammy the Bull. I mean, the government has been doing nothing but finger-fucking with the tobacco companies for 75 years, taking their campaign contributions, living off their excess taxes, funding their pork programs with their extortion from protecting the states and the people from the tobacco companies. All these bribes, and they are bribes, because trust me, if ketchup had 1/20th of the carcinogens in a cigarette, they'd rip it off the shelf tomorrow. So the government is full of shit when they tell you that they care about you. They would have you this any more than George Bush is a reformer with results. You see what I'm saying? Just because they say it, you don't have to believe it. Everyone picks their own poison. Some people like Scott, some people like Valium, coffee, candy bars, adrenaline. How about that one? I love that drug. The one you have to score by scaring the shit out of yourself. What? That's okay. Bungee jumping, nothing wrong with it. Go ahead, whatever you want. Hey, you want to fly a prop plane in bad weather on a moonless night with little training and a broken leg? Enjoy it, Mr. Kennedy. Hey. Hey, you're a Kennedy. What could happen? Cars, somehow, are always okay. No matter what happens in a car, we don't care. Every Memorial Day, I hear that on the news. We expect 550 traffic deaths, and people go, that's about right. Yeah, 550, that's in the ballpark. But, you know, like, but if one soldier dies, can you figure that out? How come soldiers are an intolerable way to die? It's funny, you get to be president, you know that you have an army, you just can't use it in a way that anybody ever gets hurt. Remember in Kosovo, Remember when Twiggy came on the scene? Who's my age? You remember Twiggy? Really? Okay, well, if you don't know, in the late 60s, when all the wrong women were burning their bras, and I was 12, 13, I was just coming into my own, frequently. And I'm telling you, the girls in Playboy in 1967 were not thin. It was Sophia Loren. She was not thin. Marilyn Monroe, they were all 260, 270. Jane Mansfield, these pie wagons. I mean, you could serve drinks on their ass. But you know, we were fine with that. You know, we never asked for a change. We didn't ask for Twiggies. Twiggy came out. We thought she was a skinny, ugly chick. But, you know, we're men. We were like, if this is what they're giving us to fuck, then I guess that's what we'll be fucking. I mean, we don't want to, but this is what they're giving us now, and I don't like it, but... You know, they made Barbie change her body because they were accusing her of giving unrealistic body images to young girls. And that, of course, is the root of the problem: dolls. Dolls, Marlboro Men, frogs. So they made Barbie, you know, they lessened her bust size and they increased her waist size, and now Barbie is back waiting tables. You know, it's... They should have let her keep that tit job. She had the Malibu beach house and the Corvette. I mean, Barbie was a whore. You knew that, didn't you? I mean, that's what she did. When they say Ken comes separately, that's... I don't know if you... But here's what's bugged me. Women's agenda, your agenda, that's romanticized and lionized. Our agenda...
Bill, only Jesus Christ saves.
Oh, gosh. That guy should probably go before I get to the section about Jesus Christ.
The other team outprayed us at halftime. That's what happened. You got to pray harder than the other guy in this league.
But, you know, that stuff is just obnoxious. Religion is also dangerous. In Kansas, you probably heard last year, the Board of Education stopped teaching evolution. Apparently, the jury is still out for them on evolution. Actually, it came in 1925 in the Scopes trial, but okay. They thought the money would be better spent warding off the Blair Witch and posting the Ten Commandments in the school as a plan to protect their children, which would be good for 12th century Turkey. After this, we're going to fire the meat inspectors and protect against the E. coli virus by saying grace. Pat Buchanan, running for president, proudly says he does not believe in evolution, and he's not too sure about gravity. He thinks it might be a plot by Jews to get people to drop spare change, so he's... But I also tell you this about Jesus. He is not a Republican. I don't know how this party... No. I don't know. I don't know how this party took over Jesus Christ. What an unholy alliance. Because, you know, back in the day, the Republicans used to be hot for money, not for Jesus. That's what I liked about them. Jesus would not be a Republican. He needs a shave and a haircut, and he's... You know, he hangs out with the poor, he's compassionate, he's got a hooker friend. He's Ted Kennedy, this guy. God the Father, there's a Republican. the I'll drown your ass if you fuck up guy, that's a Republican. But he's a Jew, he'll never get the nomination. But that's what a Republican should be. The problem is Republicans don't act like Republicans anymore. I don't want a compassionate conservative. When I vote for a Republican, I want two things, a prick and a square. Okay? A father figure, if you will, to stop Mommy, the Democrat, from spending all the money. If I want to get laid on a boat, I'll call Gary Hart. But Republicans traditionally provided the motivation America needed because Republican philosophy is based on the fact that a tiny percentage of fat cats can convince zillions of people who could never be fat cats that they might. That's, how else do you sell trickle-down economics? How else does that sound good? They're practically saying, we're pissing on you. That's trickle. Trickle. They're saying, we have all the money. If we drop some, that's yours. That would be, whatever we can't get out the door as we're stealing into the night, that would be your portion. Well, how does that sound good unless you, like Reagan, sell the optimism of it? That you will be one of the pissers, not the... The Democrats, you know, that's not what they're selling. They're selling, they're going to piss on you, here's an umbrella. You know, that's... Also, didn't the Republicans used to be the party of privacy? When did they become the Taliban, you know? And I know many people will never, ever forgive Bill Clinton for what he did with his thing. I just don't understand that. The outrage, you know, this outrage that he got a blowjob in the Oval Office where Reagan, they say this, where Reagan wouldn't even take off his coat.
He didn't know he had one on. How about that to start the discussion?